camera setup always the hardest part of this thing? Because it is. Because it just fucking is. Alright, we're recording. Oh, I got this damn thing over my stuff. Oh, I got gum in my mouth because that's a really great... Now we can go. What is up, YouTube? How are you all doing? Welcome to this inaugural episode of the GCTV Robservation. I'm your host of Master Ceremonies, Darkside Rob, and I just want to jump in by saying Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy Kwanzaa, Festivus, and all those other special holidays to all of you, and inform you guys of something that you are probably already well aware of, which is that thing over my left shoulder, which is the Steam holiday sale. Now, Steam is not the only one that's having a holiday sale for video games right now, but there is one thing that they're doing that is new for them this year, and I think is something that all of us tend to focus on more at this time of the year than probably we should, but we do it every year because everybody does it, and those are the Game of the Year awards. We're going to be doing one as well in the new year. Game of the Year awards shows, we start talking about them in January of the year, and we don't shut up about them until December at the end of the year. And while I personally love debating like the best and worst games of the year, because it's just something that I've fallen into, it's something that I'm used to doing at this point, from having run a website that covered video games back since 2009 to running a Twitch stream now. But one thing I want to mention right off the bat is that Game of the Year shows and End of the Year awards shows, and basically just award shows in general, are kind of stupid for the most part. Now, I say this as somebody who fully recommends that they exist because it's good and it's important to celebrate the accomplishments of people in multiple industries, whether it be music, film, video games, what have you. Recognizing people for their accomplishments in their chosen industry is always an important thing. But there are some things that are annoying about outlet-driven award presentations, which is to say that, like, when an outlet like Variety does its Movies of the Year, or GameSpot, for example, or IGN does its Games of the Year, or, you know, Rolling Stones does its Albums of the Year. The problem with all of this shit is that it is incredibly, incredibly subjective. Speaking as somebody who will be making a top 10 list this year of best and worst, and picking games for categories that run the gamut, it is important to remember that my opinion on video games are simply that, my opinions. And what these guys are doing is the same thing. They're asking everybody for their opinions on these made-up categories of games that run the gamut of release years and, you know, will eventually stand as a monument to nothing. That's kind of why video game awards, like every award, is kind of an idiotic thing. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to video games, play what you like, don't play what you don't like, and everybody's got their own opinions on what are the best games and worst games. What I do like about video game awards, and what I do like about top 10 lists, and what I like about doing award shows, and this is things that we've tried to do on the Crash Stravaganza, which is our award show that's not an award show, where we try to talk about as many games in a certain amount of time as we can, is that the good thing about these personal award lists and award shows and these debates and these, you know, top 10 lists and what have you, is that it gets people in front of games that they may not have heard about or not have seen or missed or things like that. If there's one thing that I can take away consistently from every year of doing shows like this or reading up on other people's opinions on video game shows, on video game related news, on the best and worst stories of the year, on the best and worst games of the year, is that everybody's got a slightly different list or drastically different list, and you end up talking about stuff that you might have missed throughout the course of the year and things that you might not have picked up on. I know for my own personal experience, Owlboy is going to be one of those games that I'm going to be talking about constantly as something that has a great soundtrack, it's got great design, it's a game that's an indie darling. It got completely lost in the shuffle this year when it got released, but I'm hoping that in discussing it and putting it on my list of games and putting it in my awards lists for the Crash Stravaganza, that people will check it out. And I also, at the same point, think that it's good to talk with people who, like, if Dark Souls is on my list, why is it not on somebody else's list? those things are cool to talk about because then you see other people's perspectives on games, and you can all sort of walk away going, well, we all have a different reason for liking or not liking a certain game because of this, that, or the other, which is good. And I think is one of the whole reasons I got into doing Game Crashers related media in the first place, and why I like doing Twitch streams and why I like talking to people about games, is because at the end of the day, my personal list of the best or worst games is immaterial. It really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Much like, I was looking at GameSpot's list and I'm like, this is an okay list, I guess, because their list is going to be different from mine. We're not going to see the same way eye to eye on every choice that we make, which is why most of this Game of the Year discussion is pointless. But where it's not is that we get to share and we get to peacefully debate, why our picks are the way we picked them. And again, my hope is that we always bring up games that people might have not thought to talk about or look into or check or try out. The whole point of having so many video games to choose from is so that you can try stuff that might have been outside of your comfort zone. There's definitely games that I have not played this year that, because I've seen them come up again and again and again and again, I really want to try, even though they're not games I would necessarily gravitate towards. And I think that's important because while we're always going to get a game like Call of Duty, it's special when a game like Hyper Light Drifter comes out because that's not a game we see all the time. We're always going to get a game that's, like a racing game like Forza Horizon, because Forza is a established series and they've released 6 main series games and 3 off-axis games, and they're out there. But if you don't know about an Assetto Corsa, or you don't know about Project Cars, or you don't know about the new Dirt Rally game, then you're not getting to experience all the different varieties of that kind of car game that are out there. And doing these award shows and doing these events where people bring their best and worst to the table and go, here's what I got, what do you got, is a great way for people to go, well, I tried this, try this, or check this out. Or, it was like the year Sean mentioned the Danganronpa games, which I had never heard of before he mentioned them, and then I saw people playing them on Twitch, and I went, those games aren't really my style of game. I don't really get a kick out of playing those games, but I respected the fact that he fucking loved them, and I really thought it was awesome that people were playing them on Twitch, that I could check them out, that I could see if it was my thing and go, I think I'm gonna pass, but thank you for letting me know, because that's awesome that you like them, and I see that there's something to these games. It's, it's the same thing. It was like when I played, now it's not going to come to me. I was on a roll there. Do you see? It was just like I had it all going. It was all making sense. It was all coming together. And then it all just went. I guess the thing I'm trying to say is this was the perfect example. Oxenfree, for example. Oxenfree was a game that I'm sure I'm going to mention a bunch this year. I thought it was a fantastic little game, about a 6-7 hour experience. And didn't really get a lot of traction. There's a, small following that really thinks that game is top notch, and a lot of people who really thought it was a fantastic sort of modern point and click adventure game in sort of a better way than maybe like a Telltale experience. And the thing is, I really want to let people know about that game. Like that game, Hyper Light Drifter, Abzu was a game that's just absolutely phenomenal this year. And I guess what I feel about all of this stuff, I'm gonna jump back in the frame. You don't need an awards show from every outlet to say, like, this is what you should be playing. These are the most amazing things ever. Why aren't you playing these games? Like, if you're not gonna be interested in a game like Oxenfree, my saying it is not gonna make you interested in a game like Oxenfree. My only hope is that if I talk about it and I share it with other people who are bringing their best and worst of the year to all of us, so that we can share our experiences on games together in 2016, that people will maybe take a look, because there are so many games out now. It's not like the good old days of gaming where it was like you had 10 games and that, you had to struggle to find 10 good games. Now there's like so many games that come out in a calendar year that there's no easy way to play all of them. Even people who work in the industry now lament the fact that there's just not enough time, even in their own line of work, to get through every single game that comes out. So the one good thing is that you can actually talk to people who are, you know, playing other games and fill in the gaps for other people who may have completely missed a game and not even heard that it had come out. And that's why I think these award shows are good. Not because necessarily it means that my thinking a game is so great changes it for, you know, A, B, or C, but that I get to speak about it and maybe let you guys in a little bit on my opinions on a game so that we can have this discussion about games and keep the dialogue going between you guys as viewers and us as, you know, people who are talking into these crazy cameras that are pointing in our face and go, games are pretty fucking awesome, let's share that experience together. And with that, I do turn it to you guys in the viewing realm of YouTube. What do you guys think about Game of the Year shows? What do you guys think about sites that, you know, argue and mull over, you know, the top 10 games? And is that really an effective way to translate one's feelings and opinions about games? Or do you see them as kind of a pointless endeavor and, you know, that it is much more important to share an individual's perspective on games rather than debate and try to, you know, force a list of, you know, 25 of the best games of whenever together? So if you guys have any opinions on all of that stuff that I just talked about, drop a comment down below. I'd love to see what you guys think about all of that. And that's really gonna do it for me. If you guys wanna find out more that we're doing on this here channel and other places across the web, hit me up on Twitter, twitter.com/GCDarksideRob. You can also check out my live stream on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/GameCrashers. I also have the Game Crashers Twitter account, which is twitter.com/GameCrashers. You can also find out more about our award show that is an award show, the Game of the Year, the Game Crashers Game of the Year, End of the Year Crashtravaganza 8, which will be happening on January 7th, 2017 in the new year. There will be info down below in the description and also more stuff coming here on this channel and across all of our links on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and the internet at large. Also, if you want to check us out on Facebook, you can do so at facebook.com/gamecrashers.net. So we'll have some posts there about stuff that's coming down the pike in the future. So until then, that's my Robservation for this episode. Be sure to catch the next episode of the Robservation on Monday and Friday every week. Next time, I don't know what we'll be talking about. It'll be a mystery. But until then, I wish you guys the happiest of holidays. Have a safe one, travel safe, fly safe, and as you guys always know, the motto is, as it always has been, keep playing those video games, stay safe everybody, be good to each other. I hope you have a wonderful and happy holiday, and until next time, peace out. We got schmutzy, schmutzarella on the lens here. We're gonna clean that up.